Ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 p.m. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is officially called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Eves.
Present.
Trustee Lilly.
Present.
Trustee Dunlap.
Present.
Trustee Blakey.
Present.
Trustee Clark.
Present.
Trustee Marshall.
Present.
All trustees are present.
Thank you. Is there anyone here tonight that is interested in addressing the board? If so, you may come forward now. All right, we'll move on. Is there a motion to approve minutes dated February 27th, 2024?
So moved.
Motion by Lilly. Is it supported? Supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. We'll now move on to our standing committee reports, beginning with Public Works. Trustee Dunlap.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing I have to report tonight is April 8th, the chipping will begin. The cleanup week is scheduled for May 6th. Just keep in mind, it's one pass per street. So have your items out on the curb on Sunday. And that's the end of my report, and happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you. Economic Development. Trustee Blakey.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Economic development, we have a few things to point out. Everyone is seeing that Dunkin' Donuts is moving right along. Dunkin' Donuts is just about ready to open up. We're looking forward to a date where we will have a ribbon cutting and a grand opening. We're going to invite everyone out for that when that happens, and we'll let you know when that date is to come up. And then right across the street from Dunkin' Donuts is BAM, Body and Mind. They are very close as well to opening up, and we're looking forward again to that grand opening. For those of you who may have driven up or down Route 30, you may have seen that the entire structure, the exterior structure of the new car wash is already up. Looking forward to having that car wash in the village of Lynwood. The L building, which is right next door to the village hall, is just about complete. And when I say complete, there are some renovations that are being done in light of the last tenant. And this is being done under the leadership and direction of our newly appointed Director of Public Works, Sam Garcia. Sam and his team are doing an excellent job, and the L building will be ready for rentals this summer. So anyone that is interested in having weddings, wedding receptions, birthday parties, or what have you, all of that will be available at the L building starting this summer. So we're very pleased to have that up and running. Recently, I met with Florian Strasser, who is the CEO of a Swedish water solutions and analysis firm, for the purpose of providing free pressure zone analysis for the village of Lynwood in hopes of saving us money and determining where leaks could be throughout our water distribution and water receiving areas, to determine whether or not we can save any money. If we're able to to experience any savings, it will be a benefit to not only the village, but hopefully to our residents. This is a company that has been in operation in Switzerland for some time now and is trying to move into the United States, and has offered this service to the village of Lynwood free of charge to see whether or not there is any or there will be any leakages. And so what I've done is I've put him in touch with our Director of Public Works, Mr. Garcia, and they'll be following up with him to see when they can get that started and if we'll be able to experience any cost savings from there. That's all I have for economic development. Can I move on to community affairs?
Yes.
For community affairs, I just have a few dates to highlight. I'm pretty sure you'll hear my colleague, Trustee Eves, speak about the scholarship that's going to, the scholarship applications that will start on April the 1st, but there's some other dates that are equally important of things that are coming up. On April 12th, we have a Business Appreciation Day. There's a Mother's Day bingo. On May the 10th, Cop on Top, which is going to be the first Cop on Top that we'll be able to have in the village of Lynwood, because they'll be on top of the roof of the Dunkin' Donuts here in the village. Our Memorial Day Coffee with Veterans is going to be on May 24th. Linvinia #1 is going to be on June 22nd. 4th of July Parade is going to be on June 29th. And our movie night in the park is going to be on July the 12th. The last thing I have is a very special announcement, and that is paying tribute to a number of the women that work in the village of Lynwood. As you know, that March is Women's History Month, and if the village of Lynwood did not have the women that it has working, the village of Lynwood literally would not work. We have been able to achieve and do what we're doing because of the women that are in position here. And I want you all, because a number of these women you all don't see at all, but I want you all to know who they are. I want to name them, and then after I name them, I would like for all of us to acknowledge them. Of course, it starts with Mayor Jada D. Curry, Karen Wingfield Bond, who is our clerk,
Really?
Cynthia Eves, my apologies. Cynthia Eves, Trustee Cynthia Eves, Trustee Sherry Dunlop, Trustee Rolanda Clark, Kimberly Switterick, who is our Director of Finance, Joyce Hurley, Director of Buildings, Dion Dyson, Susie Gonzalez, Bianca Kidd, Michelle Blackman, Crystal Johnson, Sheila Edwards, Nina Guzzo, Bernadette Gaynor, Danielle Diaz, Erica Watts, and Luz Mendieta, and Kristen Denton. These are all of the women that work in the village of Lynwood, and I'm telling you, if they did not do what they do for the village of Lynwood, Lynwood would not be functioning as it is right now. So I want us all to acknowledge the women of the village of Lynwood, please. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Blakey. All right, Planning and Zoning, Trustee Lilly.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everyone. How are you all?
Good evening.
Good, good. Mayor, I have nothing for planning and zoning. May I move on to ordinances and resolutions?
Yes.
Great. First item I have is a second read action taken on ordinance number 24-07. That's an ordinance of the Village of Lynwood amending fines for certain parking and vehicle offenses.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Lilly, supported by Eves. Attorney Boyle.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is second reading on an ordinance that was introduced at your second February meeting. What it does, if passed, is it increases fines for various vehicle offenses, specifically illegal parking of commercial vehicles or trailers, overweight vehicle violations, consistent with the vehicle code up to the point of your authority to levy a fine as a non-home rule unit. And it adds an administration fee of $25 for administrative hearings held under your code that result in a finding of liability.
Thank you. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Great. Next item I have is a second read action taken on ordinance number 24-08. That's an ordinance of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois, amending fees for peddlers' licenses, raffle licenses, and solicitation permits.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Lilly, supported by Dunlap. Attorney Boyle.
Pardon me. Yes, again, second reading. This was introduced at your second February meeting. The permit fees for most of these categories that Trustee Lilly read to you was currently $25. This ordinance would increase the license fees to $100, and then for For a raffle license, that fee is currently $50. This ordinance would increase the raffle fee to $250.
Thank you. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
This next item is a first read, no action taken, ordinance number 24-09. That's an ordinance of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois, amending the hotel accommodations tax ordinance.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Lilly, supported by Eves. Attorney Boyle.
Yes, this is a first read on an ordinance update. You do have two establishments within the village that would qualify under this hotel definition. There's a couple of Airbnbs within the village boundaries. Under the current ordinance, they were required to file monthly reports consistent with state law on the number of people using their services. This ordinance would change that from a report, I think I may have said monthly, I meant quarterly. In any event, the ordinance would change it from a quarterly report to a monthly report, and failure to follow the requirements of the ordinance would, minimum fine under this would be increased from $50 to $250 for a first offense, and then from $200 to $500 for a second or a subsequent offense.
Thank you. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
This concludes my report, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Health and Wellness, Trustee Clark.
I have no report.
Thank you. Finance, Trustee Eves.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Motion to approve bill payment memo 1493. Total disbursement, $396,223.50, which includes payroll for the period of February 18th, 2024 through March 2nd, 2024, in the amount of $157,506.10.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Support.
Motion by Eves, supported by Lilly. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I also have a motion to approve bill payment memo 1494. Total cash disbursement, $517,625.09, which includes payroll for the period of March 3rd, 2024 through March 16th, 2024, and the total amount of $177,810.60.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Eves, supported by Marshall. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I also would like to thank the residents and anyone that sold and supported the Lynwood Educational Scholarship Fund by purchasing raffle tickets. As a reminder, the raffle starts April 1st. It goes through the entire month of April, so do not throw your tickets away. Winners are determined by the Illinois Pick 3 Evening Lottery. You will be notified if you purchase tickets of your winnings. I would also like to let the residents know that as of April 1st, the applications for the Lynwood Educational Scholarship will be available. You can either pick them up here at Village Hall, or you can email me to get a digital copy. My email is ceves@thevillageoflynwood.net. Thank you, everybody. I hope that everybody the students that we have that are able, we really would like for you guys to apply for this money. And this year, I'm going to say, if you are a returning student, contact me via email, because we have had businesses that partner with us, and we have given out scholarships to returning students. The educational scholarship for the village is for first-time students, so for our seniors that are going away to school. However, we are trying to help everybody. So if we have the funding, we will disperse those funds to returning students as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Trustee Marshall.
Madam Mayor, I don't have anything for public safety, but I want to piggyback on Trustee Eves being the co-chair. We still got some tickets. If anybody wants some, we got a few in the back there. You can get you some under $5 a piece. We still got a few left. We still got a few. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
See me if you need those tickets. Anybody else?
Thank you. We'll now move on to our department head reports, beginning with the Police Department. Commander Hernandez.
Thank you. Reminder, Cop on Top to raise money for Special Olympics will be May 17th from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Dunkin' Donuts, located at the intersection of Lynwood Road and Torrance Avenue. Crime stats from March 11th through March 25th are as follows. 8 arrests and 4 DUIs, 6 domestic disputes, 6 recovered guns, and 200 building checks. Our officers also did a St. Patrick's Day traffic grant from March 8th to March 18th. Those stats were 102 traffic stops, 112 citations, and 2 arrests. That is end of my report.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the Fire Department. Chief Alston.
Good evening. Stats for the fire department since the last board meeting: 87 ambulance calls, 4 accidents with injuries, 3 accidents without injuries, 5 CO2 detectors, 1 assist to police, 7 invalid assists, 9 fire alarms, 1 hazmat investigations, 4 trash/rubbish fires, 1 mobile home fire, 2 car fires, and 2 brush fires, coming to a total of 126 calls. As of April 5th at 7 a.m., the Lynwood Fire Department will be transitioning to take over our own ambulance service to provide an ambulance for our residents here in Lynwood. So April 5th, you will see Lynwood's ambulance roll out. Our second ambulance is in the process of coming up as well, but we are transitioning from our contract provider over to our in-house staff that we are going to staff the firehouse and have our own ambulance staff. And so April 5th, you'll see our Lynwood ambulance coming to our Lynwood residents to provide them ambulance services. And this is the first ambulance in Lynwood history. And then just my last thing, if anybody's interested in taking a CPR class, you can give us a call at the firehouse. We'll start putting together CPR classes. You can give us a call 708-758-6102, or you guys can email us at fire@villageoflynwood.net. And that ends my report.
I just would like to acknowledge the work that this chief has done with this fire department. He has only been chief for a little over a year, and in that short amount of time, we have a fire station that is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I don't know if you heard him, but for the first time in the history of the village of Lynwood, and we have existed for 65 years, we have an ambulance. We will be able to service our own residents with our own staff members. That is a huge accomplishment for an individual who has only led a department for a little over a year. So thank you, Chief Alston. Public Works Director Garcia.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just want to speak about our productivity. We've repaired and replaced 3 stop signs, repaired 5 street signs. We've completed all potholes throughout town. But if my residents see any of the potholes, please feel free to call in, and we'll take a look at those potholes for you. No water main breaks to report, which is always a good thing. A reminder to all of our residents that please pay your water bill. April 4th, we will be doing shut-offs. So please just make sure you come in and make sure you pay or make arrangements with the ladies up at front. Also, since I got here as the director, I've spoken to the police department, a lot of the board members, and even our trustees, residents. One of the biggest concerns was our parks with lighting. We have finally got lights up at our playgrounds at Lakeview Park and Terrace Park. All of the parking also has lights. We only have one more park to work on, which is Liberty, and all the parks should have lighting. It's all just safety for our kids, for you residents, and obviously for the police department. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Please make sure you drive by the parks. They look amazing. Thank you. All right, village engineer, Ms. McPherson.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to report that last week we submitted applications for both the CDBG grant and Invest in Cook. We're requesting funding to resurface approximately 10 streets within the village, so if we get that, that'd be good. We're on like a on-off year with getting the grant, so last year we didn't get it, but we got it the year before, so hopefully this goes through. And that concludes my report.
So I'm working on it. I'm slowly but surely getting to your street. Thank you, Brittany. Finance, Mrs. Switterek.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing.
Thank you.
That completes my report.
Building Department, Ms. Hurley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The number of permits issued from February 28th, 2024 to March 26th, 2024 were 45 with a permit total of $8,616. Permit valuation of $393,470. Want to remind residents that contractor registrations are due or actually past due. And so if you're using a contractor for your home repairs, please make sure to identify their registration. Just ask them if their registration is current. If not, they can certainly come to the building, give us a call. They can email this information and they can pay when they pick up the permit for the work that they're doing for your homes. And lastly, if you have a rental property here in the village of Lynwood, I want to also remind you that there is a rental registration requirement. And so if you've never registered your rental before, now is the time to register that rental. The deadline for the rental registration is May the 15th. Each property, if it's a single-family home, it's $50. Obviously, if it's a four-unit home, four-unit building, that is $200. If you don't know what that paperwork looks like or you need it for the first time, you can email me at jhurley, that's JHURLEY, at villageoflynwood.net. And if you have any additional questions or concerns, you can give us a call at 708-758-6101 and hit option 4. That is my report.
Thank you. Attorney Boyle.
No report.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Yes. I just want to remind all Lynwood businesses that all current business licenses expire April 30th, so please get your applications in as soon as possible to avoid any possible late fees and or fines. And that ends my report.
Short and sweet. Thank you.
Short and sweet.
I just have a couple of things I want to share before I talk about this mayor's wall. Just a reminder that effective April, we are back to monthly water billing. So some of you may feel like you got back-to-back bills. That's because you did, but the bill that you recently received is only for 1 month. Moving forward, we will remain at monthly billing. I want to thank Congresswoman Robin Kelly for her continued support in our efforts to receive our own zip code. As I have shared in a previous board meeting, I did submit a packet to the United States Postal Service, and they denied my request. And so I met with the Congresswoman and her team. I drafted an appeal to the United States Postal Service. I specifically addressed all of their reasons for denial and offered up alternatives to that. And the Congresswoman personally wrote a letter to accompany that appeal. In addition to that, while she was in D.C., she herself went and met with the United States Postal Service. So we are going to continue on this fight. I told you we're getting a zip code. We're going to get a zip code. I don't care how long it takes. We will fight and get this zip code because we deserve it and we need it in Lynwood. If you know me, you know that I am a big history buff, and I am fascinated with all things that relate to history. Last year, we began this journey of looking into the previous mayors that have served. I've been curious since I got in office, like, who served before me? You know, what are their names? How long did they serve? What did they look like? Tell me something about them. And it's really strange because if you look online, I don't care how many Google searches you do and how many newspapers you reach out to, there's very little information. regarding the individuals that sat in this seat. I have been to several village halls, and one thing that always stood out to me was when you walk into these village halls, you see a wall of mayors, all who have served, and yet we did not have that in Lynwood. And so between myself and Bianca Kidd and Trustee Dunlap and some family members and friends, we just kept digging and digging and digging until we found out who served as mayor in the village of Lynwood. We now know that there have been a total of 7 mayors. I am number 7. And so I wanted to make sure that I honored them. Sitting in this seat, I now understand how hard it is to sit in this seat. And anyone who's done this before me deserves to be recognized and honored. And so tonight we will be unveiling the wall of mayors that will live on for as long as this Village Hall building exists. And if we build a new one, we will move it over to that building. I want to tell you the names of the mayors and a little bit about them. The first mayor of the village of Lynwood was the Honorable Peter Van Noort. Mayor Van Noort passed away at the age of 85 on May 10th, 2003 at his home here in Lynwood. He was a member and elder at the First Reformed Church of Lansing. He was a retired farmer, a past school board member of Sunnybrook School District, and the first mayor of Lynwood. He served in that position for 14 years, from 1959 until 1974. The second mayor was the Honorable Mayor Peter Youngsma. Mayor Youngsma passed away at the age of 94 on December 3rd, 2006. He was a lifelong member of First Reformed Church of Lansing, where he served as an elder, a Sunday school teacher, and superintendent. He was a veteran of World War II. He served as a school board member, which is kind of funny. It's a running theme because I served as a school board member. And president for 27 years for District 127. He was one of the first trustees for the village of Lynwood and was the second mayor, serving from 1974 until 1977. The Honorable Mayor Rudolph Salahar passed away at the age of 70. He was retired from Republic Steel after working there for 37 years. He served as mayor from 1977 until 1981. And he served in the Korean conflict war. So that was number 3. Number 4 was the Honorable Barclay Bud Fleming. I will not tell you about him because he is here to tell you about himself. After Mayor Fleming was the Honorable Russ Melby, and he served from, Mayor Fleming served from 1981 until 95. Mayor Melby served from 1995 until 2005. And then number 6 was Mayor Eugene Williams, who served from 2005 until 2021, where I assumed this role and currently sit. I am very excited to have one of our mayors with us. They all were invited, and the ones that were deceased, their family members were invited. Not all could make it for various reasons, but we do have the son of Mayor Youngsma, Harry. Harry, can you come forward and just share with the residents a little bit about your dad? Keep it PG.
Start at the beginning, Harry.
Well, how about this? Can you give us 2 minutes? And I believe this is the granddaughter, Penny? Okay, thank you. Welcome, Harry.
Welcome.
Well, back when Pete Van Noort and my dad were the trustees and mayor of this town, basically where you're living right now was soybean field and cornfield, and that's all it was. They brought in all the infrastructure, quite a bit of the infrastructure that was needed I recall, is my dad hired the first police chief in Lynwood, Casimir Lynwood. He was the only policeman. They did have enough money to buy a police car. That was about it. But, he used to chase the kids around.
We're recording, so we want to make sure we can get your audio.
The other thing I remember about Dad is he was deeply involved in,
Said why?
he was deeply involved in establishing connection with Lansing for Lake Michigan water. Prior to that, this town was on a couple of wells out there in the subdivision that they were deep wells, but they were it was terrible water. And eventually it became, eventually you guys ran a line from Hammond all the way over to Lynwood. Dad also was very instrumental. In fact, he bought the first fire truck for the fire department, Lynwood 101. Bought it out of Virginia, had no cab on it. In Virginia, you didn't need a cab, but in the wintertime, it got kind of cold out here running around with that fire truck. But the good thing about it, in one way, is it was basically nothing but garbage fires that the fire department fought in the beginning because there were so few houses in the subdivision. Now it's a different story. And he enjoyed his job as mayor, but he also enjoyed going to Florida every year after Christmas for about 3 months, and that didn't fit in with the duties of being a mayor. That's about all I know. I got it. Unless you've got some questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now, it is my distinct honor, it is a thrill for me. I had the pleasure of sitting and chatting with this individual last week, and there's nothing like being able to look at the face of someone who sat here and have him answer questions and fill in blanks for me. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you all Mayor Barclay Bud Fleming.
Before I even make any comments about anything that I may or may not have been involved in, you can blame the previous speaker. Harry was probably he was my biggest supporter, and he, along with a couple of the trustees on the board at that time, asked me to run, actually pushed me to run, and I stayed probably too long. I got involved in other things like the county. But during my tenure, Harry was very involved. This young lady, Sherry Dunlap, I called upon her and her husband, her late husband. They did an awful lot in town for the community activities that we had. But during my time as mayor, as Harry said, his dad brought a connection from Lansing to Lynwood. It was over by Sunnybrook School, if I remember. And that was there, but it didn't service the community. We had a well. And after I was elected, we did a bond issue, and we sold bonds and brought Lake Michigan water through the entire village. Later on, we expanded it from where it dead-ended on Burnham Avenue and brought it over to the mobile home park so that they got on, and then subsequently got all the way through. It get to your part too, didn't it? No? You wouldn't sell them your water line. But I was involved a little bit with that, and we were involved in this building during my administration. We bought this and put it all together. The many things that our police department and our fire department, our public works department have done are just probably too numerous to enumerate. But if you got 3 days, we can probably enumerate most of it. I was very fortunate, very lucky, and God was really good to me. We did an awful lot with an awful little, and listening to what you were doing and what the fire department's doing, emergency, the ambulance service is one of the things that we've always needed, and working with outside sources wasn't always as good as it could be. We did bring 9/11 to Lynwood, and if you can accomplish bringing a new postal zone here, it will be a work of over 30 years. I can't tell you how many times I tried, and even my predecessors, and they talked with congressmen, and they talked to everybody they could. They even got on their knees and talked to God, but they couldn't get through to the knuckleheads at the Postal Service. So, but I enjoyed my tenure here, and I enjoy this village. We've been here almost 50 years now, and I love it here, and I want to commend all of you for your service, and thank you for the opportunity of moving forward.
I feel like this is the best day ever of my mayoral life. I am going to ask all of you to join me in the lobby as we unveil the mayor's wall. But before we do that, can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion by Dunlap, supported by Lilly. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Marshall.
That motion carries. We are officially adjourned at 6:38. Please join us out in the lobby and stay afterwards because we ordered dinner and we want to make sure that we feed you all. All right.